Hello everyone. Today let's discuss about the number systems and the representation of signed numbers. The prescribed textbook for referring the content is the 10th edition of the Digital Fundamentals by the author Thomas Floyd. Okay, now let's start with the definition of the number system. A number system is a method of counting things. It is the set of characters and rules that are used for representing a number. Okay, so it is nothing but a method for representing a number. Okay, fine. And we'll be having two types of number system, additive system and positional system. In additive system, there is a distinct symbol for each kind of group made during the counting process. And the value of the number in an additive system has nothing to do with the position. For example, Roman numeral system. So in this system, each number will be having a distinct symbol. Each number can be represented using a distinct symbol, right? And the value of this number has nothing to do with its position. And the main disadvantage of this additive system is calculations with Roman numerals is difficult. In the positional number system, the position of various digits indicates the significance to be attached to that digit. Okay, so in positional number system, the position of this digit is having some significance. Okay, these positional number systems have a radix value or a base value and is represented by the symbol R. Okay, so each positional number system will have a radix value, and this radix value represents that number system will consist of R distinct symbols. Okay, and we'll be having various positional number systems. The examples include binary, quinary, octal, decimal, duodecimal, hexadecimal, etc. In binary system, bi means 2, right? So it consists of the base value as 2, and so it consists of two distinct values 0 and 1. In quinary, the base value is 5, and so it consists of 5 distinct symbols 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. In octal system, as you know, octa stands for 8, right? So the base value is 8, and so it consists of 8 distinct values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And in decimal system, it's a very common system, right? So in decimal system, as you know, it consists of 10 symbols, and so the base value is 10. The various symbols are 0, 1, etc. up to 9. And in duodecimal, duo stands for 2, decimal stands for 10. So 10 plus 2, 12. So the base value is 12, and so it consists of 12 distinct values. Okay, so the 12 distinct values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the letter, capital letter A and B. Okay, so this 12 number system is commonly used in clocks, right? Then the hexadecimal system. In hexadecimal, hexa, as you know, 6, decimal stands for 10, so 10 plus 6, 16. So the base value of hexadecimal system is 16, and so it consists of 16 different symbols. What are they? 0, 1, etc. up to 9. Then A, B, C, D, E and F. And these systems are commonly used to define the memory locations in computer. Okay, so these are the examples for the positional number system. Okay, so each number system will be having a radix value which specifies that the number system will have R distinct symbols. Okay, now let's look into the counting of the commonly used number system: decimal, binary, octal and hexadecimal. As you know, the decimal means it consists of the base value as 10, and so it consists of 10 distinct values, right? 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 8, 9. Then what about the next number? The next number is 10, 11, 12. Likewise. Okay, fine. In case of binary, as you know, will be having only two digits, right? 0 and 1. So the LSB, the rightmost bit represents the LSB, least significant bit, and the leftmost bit represents the most significant bit. Okay, so we are taking a 3 bit for representing this binary number. here. Okay, so the first combination will be having 0 0 0, then 0 0 1. Okay, so that 0 0 0 represents the decimal number 0, then 0 0 1 represents the decimal number 1. So we got two combinations, right? Then we are moving to the next bit to get the next two combinations, 0 1 0 0 1 1. Okay, then in the next in the sequence is 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. So using this 3 bits, we can represent 8 different combinations. 2 raised to 3, which is equal to 8 different combinations, can be represented with the help of a 3 bits. Okay, and if you want to represent the number 16, we need to have a 4 bit. Okay, so from 8 onwards we need to have a 4 bit to representing that particular number. Okay, so when we look into this binary number system, you can see that the LSBs are changing it alternatively, right? 0 1 0 1 0 1, likewise. Then when we look into the next significant place, then we'll be having 2 zeros, 2 ones, 2 zeros, 2 ones. Likewise, that pattern will be repeating. Then when we look into the MSP part, we can see that 4 zeros, 4 ones, 4 zeros, 4 ones. That pattern repeats. Okay. Then if you are saying about the fourth bit, then we will be having 8 zeros, 8 ones, likewise. Okay, so that is the pattern of repetition of the bits in the binary number system. Okay, now moving to the octal system. As you know, octal consists of 8 distinct symbols, 0 to 7, and the next number in the sequence is 1 0. So again we are starting from the 0 to 7. Okay, we are putting 1 to the leftmost side. So after 0 to 7, we'll be having 1 0 1 1 up to 1 7. What about the next number? We'll be having 2 0 2 1 etc. 2 7. Then 3 0 3 1 etc. 3 7. 4 0 4 1 etc. 4 7. 7 0 7 1 etc. 7 7. So now the two bits are 7 7. Now what about the next number? We have to move to a 3-digit number. So the next number becomes 100, 101, 102, 103. Likewise, that pattern repeats. Okay. Then similarly in the hexadecimal, as you know, hexadecimal consists of 16 different symbols, 0 to 9 and 8 to F. After F, what about the next symbol in the sequence? 1 0 1 1 up to 1F. Then what about the next number in the sequence? 2 0 2 1 etc. 2F, 3 0 3 1 etc. 3F, 9 0 9 1 etc. 9F. Then A0 A1 etc. AF, F0 F1 etc. FF. That pattern repeats. Okay, so this is the method of counting in the various number systems. Okay. Now let's discuss about the decimal number system. As we know, this decimal number system consists of 10 distinct symbols, and so the radix value is 10. Okay, so the R value is 10. Fine. So it starts with 0 to 9. Okay. The column weights of decimal numbers are powers of 10 that increase from right to left, beginning with 10 raised to 0 is equal to 1. So from right to left, it increases. So 10 power 0. So the rightmost bit will be having 10 power 0, then 10 power 1. It goes on increasing towards the left side. Then for the fractional numbers, the column weights are negative powers of 10 that decreases from left to right. So after the decimal point, we will be having the numbers with decreasing column weight, 10 raised to minus 1, 10 raised to minus 2, etc. Okay, so the number 47 in decimal number system can be represented as 47. So this 7, that's the least significant bit, right? So that 7 can be represented as 7 into 10 raised to 0. What about the value of 10 raised to 0? 10 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay, then what about the number 4? The 4 has the weight 10 raised to 1. Okay, so it is having a positional weight. Okay, so the 7 is having the positional weight as 10 power 0, and the 4 is having the positional weight as 10 power 1. So 10 power 1 means it's 10, right? So 4 into 10, that is 40, plus 7 into 10 raised to 0 is 1, right? So 7 into 1. So we'll be getting the sum of values as 47. Okay, so similarly we can represent any decimal number system in sum of value method. For example, if you want to represent this 505, can you tell me what's the method, how we can represent it in the sum of value form? 505 is equal to the leftmost 5 is equal to, that can be represented using the positional weight 10 power 0, right? So 5 into 10 power 0 plus 0 into 10 power 1 plus 5 into 10 power 2. So we'll be getting 5 into 10 power 2 is equal to 5 in 10 power 2 is equal to 100, right? So 5 into 100, that is 500 plus 0 plus 5, we'll be getting 505. Okay, so we can represent the decimal numbers as powers of 10. Okay. Similarly, let's look at another example, 568.23. Okay, so from the decimal point towards the left, we have to have an increasing weight. After the decimal point towards the right, the decimal point should be a negative power with increasing weight. Okay, so 568.23 can be represented as, that 8 can be represented using the positional weight 10 power 0. Okay, so 8 into 10 power 0 plus 6 into 10 power 1 plus 5 into 10 power 2. So that's about the integer part. And what about the fractional part? 0.23 can be represented as point, yeah, plus 2 into 10 power minus 1 plus 3 into 10 power minus 2. So we will be getting it as 500 plus 60 plus 8 plus 0.2 plus 0.03, which is equal to 568.23. Okay, you please try out these examples 82, 11.62, 376.95. Try to find out its sum of values of each digit. Represent these following numbers in as a sum of values of each digit. Okay. Now let's look into this binary number system. As you know, the binary number system consists of the radix value as 2, and so it consists of two distinct values 0 and 1. The value of a bit is determined by its position in the number. Okay, very similar to the decimal number system. Here also the column weights increases from right to left, and for fractional numbers the column weights are negative powers which decreases from left to right. Okay, the only difference is that in decimal number system the column weights are powers of 10, but here the base value is 2, and so the column weights of binary numbers are powers of 2. So a number can be represented as 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0, 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2, likewise. Okay, and the rightmost bit in the system can be called as least significant bit, LSB, and the leftmost bit is called as the most significant bit, that is the MSB. Okay. Using n bits in binary system, we can count up to a number equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. Okay, for example, using 3 bits, we can count up to 2 raised to 3 minus 1. 2 raised to 3 means 8. 8 minus 1 means 7. So we can count up to 7. That means we can count from 0 to 7. Okay, using 4 bits, we can represent the numbers up to 2 raised to 4 minus 1. 2 raised to 4 is 16. 16 minus 1, which is equal to 15. So 0 to 15 can be represented using this 4 bits. Okay. When we look into that pattern, as we already said, the least significant bit alternatively changes, and the next LSB changes 2 bits. 2-bit pattern are there, right? 2 zeros, 2 1, 2 zeros, likewise. Then in the third LSB, we can see the pattern as 4 zeros, 4 1, 4 zeros, 4 1, etc. And in the MSB part, The pattern is 8081. 8081. It goes on. Okay. Most commonly used number systems are decimal number system and binary number system. Decimal number system are used by the humans, whereas the binary system is used by the computers, right? So we often require to have a conversion between these two number systems. Okay, now let's look into the conversion of a binary number system, binary number to a decimal number. Okay, so let's look into that method for converting a binary number to decimal number. So we need to multiply each binary bit by 2 raised to n, where n is the weight of that particular bit. As you know, each binary bit can be represented using its positional weight, right? Okay, so the weight is the position of the bit. Okay, it starts from 0 on the right. Okay, then adding these weights that corresponds to each one in the number. To get the decimal number, we need to add the weights of that corresponds to each one in the number. Okay, so the method is, first we need to multiply each bit by 2 raised to n, where n is the weight, then add these weights that corresponds to each one in the number. Okay, now let's look at an example. We are given with the number 11011001. Okay, let's start with the LSB. The LSB is 1. So the positional weight of that LSB is 2 power 0. So 1 into 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 0 into 2 power 2 plus 1 into 2 power 3 plus 1 into 2 power 4 plus 0 into 2 power 5 plus 1 into 2 power 6 plus 1 into 2 power 7, which gives the corresponding decimal number. Okay, so we'll be getting the values as 217. Okay, we will be adding only the number having 1 in the given binary number. Okay, another example, we are given with the binary number 100,101.01. We need to convert that one to decimal. Okay, first we need to start by writing the column weights, then add the weights that correspond to each one in the number. That is the method. Okay, so first let's start with writing the column weights. The LSB is 1. So the number before the decimal point, that 1 can be represented using 2 power 0. Then 0 with the positional weight as 2 power 1. Okay, we are writing all the positional weights. Okay, so the MSB 1 will be represented using the positional weight as 2 power 5. Okay, then after the decimal point, we can write it as 2 power minus 1 and 2 power minus 2. Okay, and we are going to add the weights that corresponds to each one in the number. Okay, so 1 into 2 power 5, which is equal to 32, plus 1 into 2 power 2, which is equal to 4, right? So 32 plus 4 plus 1 into 2 power 0. 2 power 0 is 1. So 1 into 1, which is equal to 1. So 32 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 into 2 power minus 2, which is equal to 1 by 4. So 32 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 by 4, which is equal to 37, 1 by 4. Another example, 101011, that binary number to decimal number. So 1 into 2 power 0, we are starting from the LSB. So the LSB 1 into 2 power 0 plus 1 into 2 power 1 plus 0 into 2 power 2 plus 1 into 2 power 3 plus 0 into 2 power 4 plus 1 into 2 power 5, right? And we'll be getting the value as 43. So the decimal number of 101011 is equal to 43 base 10. Okay, now let's do some exercises. Convert these numbers to decimal. 1011. The second exercise is 11011101, and the third one is 11 5 zeros 11. Now let's look into the conversion of decimal to binary number system. So here, to convert any decimal number to any radix or any number system, the method is divide it by the corresponding radix number. So here we are going to convert the decimal number to binary, right? So the binary, the radix value of binary is 2, and so we need to divide the decimal number by 2. Okay, so to convert the decimal number to any radix means we can have octal number system, hexadecimal number system, etc., right? So if you want to convert the decimal number to octal, what we have to do, divide the decimal number by, octa means 8, right? So the base value is 8, so divide the decimal number by 8. Okay, so similarly, to convert the decimal number to binary, we need to divide the decimal number by 2 until the quotient is 0. Okay, and the remainders form the binary number. And to convert a decimal fraction to binary, repeatedly multiply the fractional results of successive multiplications by 2, and the carries form the binary number. Okay, let us explain that point with an example. First, let us look into an integer number 25. We are going to convert the decimal number 25 to binary. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to divide the decimal number by 2. Okay, so this 25 is divided by 2. We will be getting the value as 12 with a remainder 1. Okay, that process gets completed and we are reading up. So that process will be repeated until the quotient is 0. Okay, when we got the quotient as 0, the division process gets over, right? So after getting all the remainders, we are reading it up. So we'll be getting the corresponding binary number as 11001. Okay, fine. Now let's look in a decimal fraction. We are going to have, we are going to represent this 0.375 base 10 to base binary. Okay, 0.375. Okay, so what we need to do, so the first we need to multiply this number by its radix. So since it is a binary number, the radix value is 2, right? So we are multiplying it 0.375 into 2, and we'll be getting the value as 0.750. Okay, so that 0 is taken out, that is the carry. Then that again, that fractional part 0.750 is taken, and that one is again multiplied by 2. Okay, 0.750 into 2, we will be getting it as 1.500. Okay, that one is again recorded. We are taking the fractional part again, 0.500. It is multiplied again by 2. We are getting it as 1.000. So we now ends up with 000, right? We are not able to continue that multiplication process. Okay, so the value is here, in this case we are reading it from the top to bottom. So we'll be getting the value as 0.011. Okay, so if you want to convert the number 162.375, so first we need to convert that 162 to binary, then convert this 0.375 into binary. Okay, so to convert this 162 to binary, what we need to do, we need to multiply that number by 2. Okay, so 162 divided by 2, we will be getting the quotient as 81 with remainder 0. So that process will be repeated until we are getting the quotient as 0. Okay, and all the remainders will be reading up to get the corresponding binary number. Okay, so this is the method for converting a decimal number to binary. More exercise. We are going to convert the number 65 to binary. 65 is divided by 2. That process will be repeated until we are getting the quotient as 0, and all the remainders will be reading up to get the corresponding binary number. Okay, here you are given with some exercises. Convert these numbers to binary. So in this video we discussed about the various number systems and the number conversions from decimal to binary system and binary to decimal number system. Thank you.